Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Andrew Looney from Looney Labs.
Hi there.
Looking at Pyramid Arcade, which looks like a finished production. This is not out yet.
This is not out yet. This is getting ready to go to the printer.
That's right. It's only taken 20 years.
It is, yeah. It is, in fact, my life's work in a lot of ways. And we've been developing this for 20, 25 years in a lot of ways.
Okay.
It's the culmination of everything we've been doing with the Pyramid gaming system up until that point. So, well, let's just get right into it. Let me show you what's in this amazing box. So, first of all, there'll be a comprehensive rule book, and it won't be bound like this. It's just a prototype, but it'll be a proper bound book. And it's got comprehensive rules for all of 22 games. So this box set is not a game. This is a library of games. There are 22 complete games in this box set, and everything you need to play all of them. So you'll get a whole bunch of different things. There are critically, of course.
Just from up the overhead orientation, this is down.
This is down. Oh, I see.
Towards us.
Okay, I'm expecting it to play the other way.
Okay. In any case.
So yes, it's all about the pyramids. So you get 90 pyramids, 10 colors, and 3 each of 3 different size pyramids.
Okay.
If you've never seen these before, these are the coolest thing I've ever made, really. They stack and nest beautifully, and they're useful for lots and lots of different games, as we've been discovering over the years.
Right.
We keep inventing new games for them. So there will be 90 pyramids, and then a host of other equipment that you'll use for the games. Now, some of the games actually don't need any other equipment, but a lot of them need something else, maybe dice or cards or a game board to play on. So we've got everything you need for all of those games. There'll be 9 different dice. There'll be a World War V board with a Marston chessboard on the back. There will be the long-awaited wheel, as we call it, which was originally designed for a game called Petri Dish, which has been unreleased. I've been sitting on it for so long to make the game board of my dreams finally be released. This, of course, is a Volcano board, which has been around for a while, used for the game Volcano and some other games. There'll be little boards like these, which are used for a game called Looney Ludo, and these are double-sided boards, so they have different color options on the back, and a couple of them have other game boards as well, Launchpad 23 and Hijinks. These are for other games. This is for a game called Lunar Invaders. That's for Pedal Battle, and that's for Twin Win. You also need these cards for Twin Win. There'll be a regular deck of cards. Well, no, not regular. It's got square deck, and it's going to be a 5-suit deck with gold stars is the 5th suit. There'll be a drawstring bag. There's a couple different games that need that. Plus, if you want to carry them around in a drawstring bag, it won't say that on it. It'll say Pyramid Arcade on it because it's not quite a final prototype.
That's right.
One more die. There'll be a sticker in there and a coin. And crucially, there'll be these cards. So basically, you go into the arcade and, well, now how do you decide which game you want to play? Well, that's what these cards are for. There's going to be one for each of the different games in the arcade. And as you can see, they have this interesting patch logo design on one side, and that gives you a sort of stylistic look at it. But then on the back of each of these cards, there'll be a full briefing, as it were, little picture of what it looks like when it's set up, a description, and then important facts like how many players it takes, what other equipment you need, whether it's a fast game or a slow game. So when you sit down to decide what to play, you can look through these cards, you can deal them all out on the table, and then you can start winnowing out choices. Well, we don't have time for Homeworlds, that's a long game. We got more people here than with just 2, so you take out all the 2-player games, that kind of thing. You might whittle it down to just a few. Something might present itself, hey, we love this game, let's play it. Or you might even say, we've narrowed it down to these 3, and then we're going to choose randomly. And then that'll be the game. Plus, another thing that's fun about it is what I call the throwdown, which is where we say we're going to play a little sort of tournament of several of the different games in here. We'll pick out several different cards, and then we'll play through all 3 of those, and whoever wins 2 out of 3 wins the throwdown.
Okay.
And what I really love to do is to play those at the same time.
This is your Andy Plays Everyone.
Well, of course,
quite,
Andy versus Everybody is one of my things I like to do, and that gets me up to go maybe 10 games at the same time. But because there's so many different games you can play with this, and not all of them use all the equipment, none of them use all the equipment, It means that you can sort of set up a couple of different games at the same time, as long as you have divergent equipment set. So like if one game uses this board and some pyramids, you can play a different game on this board using different pyramids, or the cards or whatever.
Right.
You could have different groups of people all playing different games out of the arcade, or as I say, you could have everybody playing each of the games at the same time. I love doing that.
Okay.
And what kind of games are there? The thing is, it's an incredible range of games. We've got easy games and complex games. We've got, time killers and brain burners. We've got a dexterity game. We've got puzzle games. We've got fast games and short games, games for 2 people, games for as many as 10 people. Basically, every kind of game imaginable is in this set.
That's right. Well, as you say, it's sort of a culmination of
It is.
a long time, a lot of
Yeah.
work, including things that haven't been published.
Absolutely.
Try to
There's-
get them all together.
There are 22 games in the set. 16 of them are proven classics that have been around for a while. That the rules have been out there in some version. This is basically the sort of the 9th major redo of the set in one way or another. And
Yeah, it has had a lot of evolutions over time.
Yep, absolutely. Over the years, as we've discovered new ways to play with the games, we've repositioned the set around those new games, or we've changed the packaging and so forth. And usually we've kind of focused on, well, hey, here's a cool new game. Let's make that the headliner. And then over the years, then another one would come along and we kind of rejigger it. But what people really want is a package that gives you everything. That is with kind of one-stop shopping, where you have all the games and all the equipment you need for all of those games in one box.
Okay.
Now, of course, there is no all the games.
It's
because
not all the games.
It's there's actually close to 500 different games that people have invented over the years. I myself have designed 29 games, and 20 of the 22 in here are my designs.
Okay.
But there are others that there's just not room in here. Even for all the stuff we've got in here, there's not room for everything. A notable exception is Zendo.
I was going to ask about that. I believe you mentioned possible new edition coming out.
We've been talking about it
some
for years
point.
of how best to do it. And at this point, well, one thing, it can't be included in this because it's basically too big to fit even in this giant box. Because
Okay.
Zendo, I don't know how well you know it, but Zendo is a game where you really want more pieces of each of the colors that you have. So a 4 or 5 color set with plenty of each of those colors is really
Right.
what you want for a Zendo set. Whereas this has been optimized around the 3 trios or less of each color, and you have 10 full colors of all of
Okay.
those. After a lot of years of developing games, I've kind of honed in on 3 trios of each as being a kind of sweet spot, and a lot of my games work really well with that.
That's right.
So this set is oriented around that concept, but Zendo and a number of other classic old school games need more pyramids of each color, as I say. So we're looking
So they
ahead
should
for
buy 2
next
copies.
year.
No.
Well, that is an option, absolutely. If
You're not going to
need-
object to that.
If you really want to play Zendo, you would need to buy 2 copies of this box set, or another way of getting more pyramids, because there
Right.
are expansion sets and older versions. And even though these are the new pyramids,
I
they
know-
have a slightly rounder tip.
I remember reading a little bit about
Yeah.
that, just with, was it U.S. or European?
European. It passed
European.
fine for U.S. testing, but European was complaining that they were too pointy for some puncture test that they required it pass.
Right.
And since it didn't pass that, we have not been able to sell them in Europe for the last few years. But the new version has a re-engineered tip, which has been passed. So these will
right.
have no problem going into Europe, and we're very excited about that.
Okay. All right.
But-
now, so plans for this, I know you're going on Kickstarter in April 2016.
Yep.
With videos explaining each of the games.
That's right.
That's the plan
We've
you had
got a
before.
whole plan. We're going to be doing a video every single day during the Kickstarter. Most of those will be sample game videos where Kristen and I play through each
Right.
of the games in the set. That's 22 videos right there.
Right.
And then there'll be a few others. I've got a historical video where I explain the whole progression from one set to the next, and there'll be an unboxing and a couple other fun ones.
Okay.
So yeah, every day during the campaign, we're going to be launching a new video and try to keep the interest high, because we want this Kickstarter to do really, really well.